Good morning, everyone. I am your pastor, Pedro Carrillo. This is the ministry Forming a Million Warriors, and today we will have a super spectacular program, The Meaning of Dreaming About Snakes. Welcome to this program today. What awaits us today? What is the main topic we have today? Today we have some very important sections of everything we are going to discuss, specifically dreaming about snakes, but some special sections that you have to take into account. We must take into account all their colors, their size, everything they do in the dream, how much is there. Their thickness, their age also has a lot of influence, the age of the snake. In short, we have to have all these things very much in mind for everything we are going to do in today's study. Do you dream about snakes and don't know what it means? Today is the day. The idea is that everything regarding dreaming about snakes is very clear to you. Without further ado, we enter at once. We send greetings to all those who tune in, all those who are always attentive to our broadcasts. We want to give them a hug. We want to bless everyone, giving thanks, because they are always here, attentive to everything we do here on this channel. We are going to keep an eye on all the dreams with snakes that were placed there in the chat. So welcome everyone, write your dreams with snakes there, and we will be giving an introduction, explaining all these things while we see the dreams, which we will be observing here in the chat. Well, the first thing we are going to do is analyze the colors of snakes in dreams. That is the first point we are going to study. Black snakes, that is the first point we are going to analyze. I want to tell everyone who is connected here that this is a Christian program. I am a Christian pastor, and that all of what we are going to talk about are things revealed by the Holy Spirit. Here, we are not going to talk about assumptions that an angel spoke, that the horoscope, that the stars. No, here we are not going to talk about any of those things, because here, the one who guides us is the Holy Spirit, the one who speaks to us and teaches us. Everything that we are going to talk about here is the Holy Spirit. You are going to see the difference between other programs that interpret dreams and ours. Dreaming about a snake on the internet will give you millions of people giving the interpretation. What I want is for you to see the difference. And here we are, believers. We are ministers of God, full of the Holy Spirit, and we speak is what the Spirit of God teaches. In the Bible, the snake is always represented with everything bad, from the beginning in Eden, from Genesis chapter 3. There we see Satan's temptation to Adam through the old serpent. In this case, it is Satan. And therefore, that's why they call Satan the ancient serpent, to refer to the serpent that was at the beginning of humanity. That's why they call him the ancient serpent. When the Bible refers to Satan, it tells him that he is the dragon, the ancient serpent, that is the devil and Satan himself. In the Bible, it is always related to the snake. Also in the Bible, we see fiery snakes that attacked the people of Israel in the desert, bringing poison of illness and death. finally, and also when Jesus refers to demons, he says that we will trample on snakes. When he talks about Satan, it is a snake. But when he talks about demons, he talks about many snakes. We ask the Holy Spirit for his wisdom to give us the wisdom to teach. And so that you can receive the teaching and understand it, we ask God to guide us, teach us, and protect us, guarding everything that is done. Because this is a program that does live. And one thing is a live program, and another thing is a pre-recorded program. I also want to clarify another point, and that is that dreams are visions that people have when they are asleep. There are some people who do not have their spiritual vision open, and since they do not see in the spiritual world, then these people only limit themselves to dreaming. But those of us who can see in the spiritual world not only dream, but also have visions. So, I want to tell you that what we are going to teach today is also valid for those who have vision. Because you will not only have dreams, but at any moment in vision you will see snakes. And I want to tell you that it is no different. Visions and dreams are the same. The difference is that one occurs while awake and the other occurs while asleep. But it is the same. So there are little things I wanted to clarify. The first point we will discuss is black snakes. Black snake. Look, in visions and dreams, Satan appears as a large, thick, black snake. Listen well, I'm going to put the summaries here for you so that you can have the sections. Then Satan appears as a black snake, but a big one. In other words, the difference with the other snakes is that Satan appears as a big snake. Okay? Sometimes it gets erect like a cobra. You know that cobras stand like this and become vigilant and lurking. This is when they are angry with a person. When it is Satan, the snake is black and stands like this aggressively as if it were a cobra. It is because he is extremely angry with the person whom he stares at and stalks. That person must be doing something that is bringing discomfort to Satan with his plans, his projects, and with what he is doing. Satan is a territorial spirit, and there are certain places where Satan is primarily dominant. There are some countries, cities, and places where Satan is the main one. And generally, people who have to do with ministries, with working with God, people who win souls, who dedicate themselves to praying for healing, for liberation, to preach the word, people who like to open churches, missionaries, they are people who, by what they do, damage Satan's plans. And that is where he gets angry and will always be on the lookout. Then, when the big black snake appears, just like a cobra, is Satan. Aggressive, angry at the person, and looking for ways to attack and destroy them. Pastor, there are other snakes that also appear black but small. What is the difference between other small black snakes? Does it have anything to do with Satan? First, you have to take into account the size. Second, the thickness. Because Satan is a black snake, but big and thick. And second, that when you have dreams about Satan precisely, it is accompanied by feeling a tachycardia in your heart. I want us to take this into account. In other words, all dreams about Satan cause tachycardia. They produce changes in the heart rate. The same is also true of visions. When Satan appears in vision, you see the vision of the snake. You immediately have to check how your heart rate is, because you know that Satan is one of the highest ranked spirits within the kingdom of darkness, and the vibration of Satan's spirit. The human being feels it that way because the vibration of his evil spirit is very strong. So, dreaming about large black snakes often represents Satan. If it has a relationship with a land, with flags, with coats of arms of countries, this means that he is in control of that territory. For example, if in vision you see the map of a country and you see the snake moving there, then one already understands that it is the principality of that country. The vision is showing that that country is under its power and his domain. We are talking about dream interpretation, and especially about this black snake. Another example, there are people who are being attacked by Satan, people who have an organization, a church, a company, or a business. Satan can be seen in dreams or in vision, carrying in his mouth the logo that represents your company or the shield that represents your company. You know that each company has a logo that represents it. If you can see here at the top is our logo. That is the logo that represents us. And then, in case I see Satan with that shield in his mouth, I know that it is an attack against the organization as such. In this case, there has to be something that represents your business. It could be a logo, a flag, an envelope, a dress, and the black snake is carrying it in its mouth. That means it is an attack against your company, against your organization, against your business. If you see that big black snake, because sometimes people think that attacks only come from witches or come from spirits. But there are direct attacks from Satan himself against people. We are clarifying this. If you see the big black snake, which has bills in its mouth or dollars in its mouth, that means that it is an attack on your finances. There, you don't have to see the color, but the action. Now, why not does the color change? Why is it still black? Because it's the same Satan, but doing different things. The fact is not to say with a black snake such a thing, with a white snake such a thing, with a green snake such a thing, with a yellow snake such a thing. No, not always when the attack is against finances. It has to be a snake of a different color. In this case, since it is a black snake, large and thick, it is Satan himself taking the money. Then you have to look, it is the action that the snake does. In this case, it is finance. I had a case of a woman who dreamed that the snake was taking her son, a boy of about 3 years old. In the dream, the snake came, took him in his mouth, and carried him away. She saw how the snake carried the child through the bushes, and she was amazed, and she did not know what to do. She tells me the dream because logically it is an attack by Satan directly against her child. It has something to do with that child, someone important. It must be that child who bothers Satan and wants to destroy him. If you travel to a place and you have visions in that place where you see large black snakes in the streets that walk through the sea, through the rivers, you already know that it is Satan as showing his power and his dominion in that place, in that country where you are, or in that state, or in that city. With this vision, the Holy Spirit is showing us that he is the principality of that place. Satan is telling you, what are you coming here to do? This place belongs to me. Leave this place. When the person makes a pact with Satan, he will dream a lot about the big black snake. That is the ancient serpent. He is going to dream a lot about her. He is going to hear her voice because the ancient serpent speaks just as he spoke to Adam and Eve in Eden when he told them to eat from the forbidden tree. Then she also speaks. Sometimes in a dream, she will also speak to you, and she will tell you things that will offend you. Satan really likes to threaten. He says that he is going to kill you, that he is going to destroy you, that he is going to destroy you. Do this, he is going to do this. because he needs you to stop doing what you are doing. And the first thing he uses is the fear of people, so that people stop working for God. An example. We are going to give an example of this. I don't know if you remember when I had a problem with this channel. This channel was stolen from me. They took the channel and supplanted it. They destroyed all the videos that we had here on this channel. We were praying with my wife, and the Lord showed the large black snake. It was quite thick, as if it were full. That is, the entire belly was inflated, full, and it had the logo of 1,000,000 warriors in its mouth. When we see this vision, we understood that the theft of this channel was under the order and direction of Satan. That inside her womb were all the videos on the channel. We began to pray. We looked for people to guide us, and we managed to recover the channel with all the people who helped us. We were able to recover the channel in 8 days. In 8 days, we had the channel in our possession, and the YouTube company returned all the videos to us, and they were placed again as they were. We began to pray, and we saw the snake vomiting the logos of 1,000,000 warriors, until the snake was completely thin. That is, it was thick because it had swallowed all the videos. But after we recovered everything, she began to vomit, to expel all the logos of 1,000,000 warriors, and she became completely thin. That is, empty, because nothing could be stolen. As I speak, you are understanding all these things, and many of those who are listening are becoming clear about many dreams that they have had. So we are talking about the black snake that represents Satan, but the color black does not always represent Satan. It has to do with death, with destruction. I want to show this as well. That is what the color black has to do with the snake. It represents attacks of death. That is, strong attacks of destruction. In other words, don't believe that every time you see a black snake in dreams or vision, it is Satan. Not always. The black snakes that are small, normal in size, represent an attack, a spiritual attack, an attack sent by sorcery, an attack sent by witchcraft in different ways, where they made the person a very lethal attack, strong. In other words, the color black is a very strong attack of witchcraft, a lethal attack that they are doing with witchcraft, because the black snake in dreams represents evil, a witchcraft attack that they are doing to you, or the quality of the curse. What they are doing to you, in this case, a quite strong, quite lethal curse. For example, a woman calls me, she is pregnant, she is 4 or 5 months pregnant, and she tells me, I dreamed that a black snake was attacking my belly, that is, attacking my belly. I already told them that she was pregnant as she could. She got rid of the snake, and the snake left. Although in the dream she threw something at him and the snake left, it does not mean that the witchcraft stopped taking effect. It does not mean that the witchcraft disappeared. No, it is simply an action of the dream. But the witchcraft is active. The curse is there. The attack is there. The attack has not gone away. Sometimes there are people who tell me that in the dream, he chased her and killed her. People think that the effect of witchcraft ceased to exist. That does not mean that the effect of witchcraft ended. The attack is there. It is still valid. You with your prayers have been stopping the effect of witchcraft. But that is there. What does that mean, that the snake attacked the belly? That means that someone was performing abortion witchcraft on her so that she would lose the baby. It is easy to understand. I asked the woman if the father of the baby was her husband. She answered no. that he lived with another woman, that he was separated, and that is why she agreed to be with him. He lives with me, but he has commitments to the other woman. He has children, and the lady already knew that he is living with me. She knows me because we knew each other before, and she knows that I am pregnant with him. It is not difficult to understand that the other woman is not comfortable with this pregnancy, that she is doing witchcraft on her to make her lose the baby, because that child would be competition for her children. This is an elementary thing, being able to understand this matter. She calls me another woman, and she tells me that she had a dream where there was a black snake coiled in her marital bed. What does this dream mean? First, the black snake means a strong, lethal attack against this person. Second, the snake is in the marriage bed, specifying that the attack is against the marriage unit. The purpose of this witchcraft attack is for the destruction of the marriage unit, separation, division of the home. Another, she wrote me a message on my WhatsApp and told me that she was lying in the marriage bed with her husband, and the snake was located between her and her husband. I think it is easy to deduce that this was a work of witchcraft for separation. So, studying black snakes in dreams or visions means, first, in the case of the pregnant woman, it means death of the baby, it means abortion. Second, in the case of the black snake coiled in the marriage bed, it means destruction of the home. Third, in the other case of the snake that was between the couple, it means division, separation. There are black snakes that want to destroy your economy, your finances, or your businesses when they see themselves in dreams carrying money in their mouths. If you have a dream about black snakes, you already know that it is a frontal, strong attack, a lethal attack against you. What do we have to take into account? What is that snake attacking? What does it want to destroy? That's how one knows what the curse is, or what the goal of the sorcery they are sending is. A woman writes to me, telling me that she had a dream where a snake attacked her and bit one of her breasts. What does that dream mean? I clearly understand from the Holy Spirit that it is a frontal attack of breast cancer that they are sending to this woman. In dreams, it is very important to be clear about the color of the snake, in what place, what kind of attack it made, the size of the snake, and where the snake comes from. All these data clarify the meaning of dreams. We are going to study the colors of snakes in dreams. This will shed a lot of light on their meaning. What does the color yellow mean? Yellow is related to illness. An attack in a dream by a yellow snake is a curse of illness sent by witchcraft. Green snakes in dreams, what do they mean? The color green has to do with finances. White snakes in dreams, what do they mean? The color white is exclusively related to Santeria, but a clarification must be made. On one occasion, when I was praying for a woman, she dreamed of a white snake, and when I prayed for her, the one who spiritually presented herself to me and confronted me through her was the anima sola. I asked the Holy Spirit, what did the soul alone have to do with that white snake that she dreamed of, that attacked her in her dreams? And the Holy Spirit told me that the white snake is the same soul alone. Why that? Because the anima alone dresses in white. It was a woman who was going to get married, and they left her dressed as a bride, dressed in white. So that is why the white snake, in that context with this woman, represented the anima alone. Regarding the color white, we must have discernment. The white of Santeria has to do with Obatala, who in Umbanda is La Virgen de las Mercedes, who directs Santeria like God with a small d. Look at another case. A woman dreams of a big, thick, white snake that was chasing her, and she ran and the snake followed to destroy it. She asks me, "What does that white snake mean?" I answer that I cannot say the meaning. It is not like the green snake, which always represents finances, or the yellow snake, which always represents illness. No, with the color white, there are some asides that we have to take into account. I prayed for this woman, and in vision, do you know who appeared to me? The spirit of death presented itself to me, Pastor, but isn't death black? No, in this case, she appeared to me dressed as a bride in a white dress, the same skull, the same hook, but dressed in white. Then there I went crazy, because there was a white snake that was the soul alone, but it did not have the same thickness as the one that represented death. So the color white is not always the same, although in most cases it has to do with Santeria and Umbanda work. When working with the Kimbanda, she is represented in dreams with black and red snakes. What are the spirits of the Kimbanda? They are Pombagira and Exu, and they are both black and red. In Umbanda, everyone dresses in white. A white dress, flowers, and a white turban. But that, in the spiritual world, God represents it with white snakes, who wants to show the evil that comes from that practice. We are going to continue talking about the white snake, because it is not always Santeria. On another occasion, I got a big surprise. The man shows a white snake. We were praying to a man, quite old, and in the middle of the prayer, a white snake appears. It was not thick, like the one we saw when death appeared, dressed as a bride, but it was a normal-sized snake. We did not understand what was happening there. The white snake faced us as if to defend the old man, as if to protect him from us. We asked the Lord if it was an insurance with the soul alone, or if it was white death, and there was no answer. We continue praying and asking the Lord, what spirit was this white snake? And then it appears to me, do you know who? Saint Gregory appeared to me, a Venezuelan spirit named Jose Gregorio Hernandez. He was a doctor. So I said, but why white? We had always seen him in black. He has a tie and a black hat. But then, when I see him in vision, I see him in a white dress with the black tie, but with the entire white dress and the white hat. And I had never seen him. So then I understood that the white snake that was facing me was Jose Gregorio Hernandez. But the white Jose Gregorio Hernandez, what difference is there between the one and the other? Now I'm going to explain to you. I spoke with the relatives because the relatives wanted me to pray for the old man because he was very sick. I asked them, what do you have to do with Jose Gregorio Hernandez? Because now that I was praying for the old man, he presented himself to me so that I would not touch the old man, so that I would leave him, so that he would destroy him. All the old man's relatives lowered their heads, and there was a woman who is the wife, an old woman, now also a big woman. We want to tell you the truth. We have taken him to Jose Gregorio's office in a town near here, where they do healings with that spirit. It is a white image. We took him there. They stripped him. They put him in a room. They laid him on a stretcher. They placed a white sheet over him, and they told us that Dr. Jose Gregorio arrived there and operated on him and healed. And certainly, when we went to pick him up, we found cotton balls with blood on them. There was a lot of smell of alcohol, as if they had done surgery. They continued saying, we want to be honest, that we have gone to Jose Gregorio Hernandez. Then I understood the situation, why I was seeing this white snake. And that later it turned into Jose Gregorio Hernandez, but dressed in white. I think you are getting this thing about colored snakes in dreams. Let's continue analyzing the colors. The red snake has to do with love. Not so much love as such, but in occultism, there is a type of witchcraft that they call the witchcraft of love, or red witchcraft, where the altar table has a red tablecloth, and they work with all the best known spirits, like death, soul alone, the 3 powers, the 7 African powers, the Pombagira, or with Gauchito Gil. The difference is that the tablecloth on the altar table is red, unlike the black tablecloth, which is made of black candles for death. What are they doing there on the red altar? What they do there is love witchcraft. You will find red dolls of men or women. You will find sexual symbols, candles of men's sexual members or women's vaginas. There are some candles which are shaped like a woman's vagina. The color red prevails on those altars because there they make sentimental ties. The dolls are in front of each other. Well, there it is. Look at it. A candle that has 2 dolls. The 2 dolls are hugging each other from the front. On top, they have a little wick to light. They have a red bow tied. This is a sentimental tie that they made to a woman, or they made to some man. We don't know who it is for, this witchcraft, if it is for women or if it is for men. But you can see the difference in the bodies. There is a woman's body and a man's body. This is a mooring. The candles are red, which is the color of love. It is different from the witchcraft of death because the candles of death, their color is black. Well then, what do you mean by red snake? The red snake refers to the witchcraft of love. They write to me and tell me, "Look, Pastor, I dreamed that a red snake attacked my husband." What does that mean? I believe that even a child knows how to interpret it. That the husband, a woman from the street with whom he hangs out there, is performing sentimental mooring witchcraft. Summarizing, a snake in a dream represents a work of witchcraft. What kind of witchcraft? It depends on the color. The color tells you what kind of witchcraft it is. It's like a woman who tells me, "I dreamed that a red spirit of death took my husband away on a motorcycle. Death was driving and he was behind and they left on the motorcycle." What does that dream mean? It is a work of sentimental witchcraft. They did it with the spirit of death. That is evident and clear. We are going to continue seeing colors. We are going to study the color brown or coffee. The brown or brown color represents destruction. What does the blue snake mean? It represents Santeria with a spirit called Yemaya, which is the most famous spirit of Santeria, or the most used. Yemaya's spirit is blue. Yemaya likes everything blue. The altar table has to have a blue tablecloth. She cannot put another color on it because she likes blue. This is a Yemaya altar. They have to have a blue tablecloth. The image is a mermaid, and the candles have to be blue. Let's see another aspect of dreaming about snakes. Dreaming that the snake is old, as if it were many years old. This means that it is a witchcraft that they did many years ago. Dreaming that the snake comes out of the ground and chases me. This means that the witchcraft was buried in the person's name. Dreaming that the snake is in the garden and it walks in the garden, it means that witchcraft was buried there. Dreaming that the snake crosses my path and doesn't let me move forward. This is a witchcraft to close the roads, projects, trips, or businesses. Dreaming that the snake is in my car. The meaning depends on what the snake does in the car. It can be destruction, damage to the car, or accident. We hope that today's study has been very illustrative and that you have learned a lot. May it have been revealed to you everything related to dreams with snakes. God bless you.